Hey guys, a new video today about picking styles. If you watched my fast picking series, you might have noticed that I haven't mentioned anything about what type of picking to use, to alternate, to economy or to hybrid pick. And that didn't happen by mistake. You know that many people swear by alternate, some are economy picking enthusiasts and some others use their fingers along with their pick quite a lot, the hybrid style. If you want to know which one is better, the answer is pretty simple: none and everything. What does this exactly mean? If we realize that there are amazing alternate and economy pickers or hybrid ones, the answer is simple. Every picking style is very effective if you learn to do it right. So, every picking style is very effective, but none of them, and I mean none, can do everything great. All of them have their own strengths and weaknesses. For example, I use economy when I ascend because it keeps my wrist loose with minimum movement and saves me from upstrokes against the gravity when I have to pass a string to pick up just to get a single note. That isn't very efficient in my book. If you just play scales up and down, you might have not realized it, but when you start to sequence those scales, you realize that alternating makes you jump up and down for no good reason. So I mean just the ascending. If you play alternating just the scale up and down, you may have not realized it, but when you start using sequences or more complex lines, you will find out that you have to jump up and down, and that troubles me a lot when I am alternating ascending. But when I do the opposite, this kind of motion, alternate picking helps me a lot. So ascend, alternate, economy, alternating. That is my way. That doesn't mean it's your way, but what I want you to realize is that the particular style isn't important, but when and how well you do it is. Okay, it's the situation that matters. So, for example, if you want to play some arpeggiated ballad lines, for example some Eric Johnson chords, okay, if you want to play something like that, you will find out that alternating on economy picking is it's close to impossible to achieve fluidity. Why? Larger skips, you skip strings, something that you can easily do with your hybrid fingers, you might have to slave through years just to be able to do the same thing. So there's absolutely no particular reason why you have to alternate something like that and not use your hybrid fingers. Okay. Of course, these things are just examples. Why? So to realize the bottom line. The bottom line is, depending on the situation, you have to have the right picking style. The big mistake many people do, though, is that they try to learn them simultaneously. That gives mixed signals to the nervous system, and instead of learning them all, you end up learning nothing. So, what my recommendation is to start alternating first, and I mean alternating everything, at least starting out. Okay, you have to be at least great alternating on a single string before you even start to explore different picking styles. So, you know, the boring exercises or anything that involves picking on a single string. You have to do that. Okay, alternating on a single string. If you master that, after some time of being able to do that without any problem, you have to at least get good on inside and outside picking. For example, if we take the famous Paul Gilbert exercise, 3 notes on one string, one note on the higher one. If you play alternating the 3 ones, and you have to move to the next, you have many options. The first one is to pick up. Okay, so as you can see, your pick moves from the outside. Okay, down, up, but it's outside the string. Okay, that is outside picking. If you were to move directly to the string, I hope you can see it, that's what I play here. The pick moves between, it's like it's trapped between strings. Okay, the first one is outside, inside. Why I'm telling you this? Because regardless of what type of picking you choose, alternating, economy picking, these types of things, the outside picking and inside picking, will appear all the time. So what I recommend is, first, alternate everything at least on one string, then try to exercise your outside and inside picking, and then you can make a choice. For example, you want to go to try to be strictly an alternate picker or an economy picker. But my recommendation is eventually try to use both. And when you get into hairy situations that require larger interval clips or string skips, you might use your hybrid fingers. So the whole point I'm trying to make here is, whatever the technique, the picking hand is good to have one uniform attitude towards things and not change much. So if you have it in one fixed position, you must be able to execute everything you want without moving it around, changing angles, changing directions, and making your life living hell. Okay, combining all these styles together at the right time saves you a lot of frustration in the long run and makes your whole playing more fluent. So the question is not what to use literally everything, but when to use it and when to learn it. So I recommend first alternating, then after you master it at a very good level, try to economy pick to learn that too, and when you realize that you have to skip many strings or do things that are virtually impossible with economy or alternate picking, try use your hybrid fingers. Okay, so it's not a question of one versus the other. You have to use everything, just you have to train them at a specific order. Alternating first, then maybe economy. Economy and sweep picking are linked together because they are basically the same thing, and you can use hybrid whenever you feel the other two are almost impossible to use. Okay, thanks a lot.